Alright, so this is the air compressor on a 1988 Wanderlodge with an 8V92. This is a Wanderlodge WB. Wow. Yeah, I don't need to pull that out of the way. That's the compressor discharge hose. I don't know if I need to pull that. I think it'll be out of my way. So this is the air intake for the compressor. I don't know if you can see that video a little bit. This here is what we're going to be replacing. This one is one of the coolant hoses. So this comes down and hits the block back over here. I don't know if just to move the camera so you can be able to see that. But we'll get this side off first and show you that. Let me get those plugs, please. Plug in these lines. It's kind of hard to get both hands in here. Everywhere. This is quite pressurized. Geyser. A little bit smaller. That wasn't too bad. Just gotta try to keep that. Try to keep as much coolant as we can. See that putting a wrench on this. Put a location down here. Spinning the piece in the block. 3/4 inch wrench. It's 3/4 inch wrench. It might be 7/8 too. There it goes. Oh, 3/4. Okay. So I don't know if you'll be able to see a whole lot. See if I can try to get that thing to focus down in there. Oops. Camera's bouncing around a little bit. I got broke free. So now we're gonna have to get a plug ready for that son of a gun. You can see it down there. It's already starting to leak, so I need to get that blue plug wet ready. This is going to be interesting. Probably going to lose quite a bit of coolant on this one. Plug is not quite fitting in there again. Can't get a second hand in there. Barely reaches from the backside here. All right, these are the compressor coolant hoses. Air compressor coolant hoses that I pulled off yesterday. So this is a 1988 Wanderlodge, so 30 some years old, and I'm assuming these are probably original hoses. So you can see they didn't come out in one piece, and I barely moved them, and this is what happened. Let's see. Now it won't break when you want it to, but this one's pretty soaked in oil, so it might actually have, but you can hear it cracking, and it just snaps in two. You know, there's barely anything left to it. Yeah, there. So if you have one of these buses, let's say if you want to drive it, I would move this up on your to-do list So these, like I said, they have a number 8 JIC fitting on there. So the JIC number 8 is in 16ths. So 8/16, that means it's a 1/2 inch fitting. So that's how all the JIC, you know, a 16 is a 1 inch, and so on and so forth. 20, you know, that's how that works. So 20/16. But yeah, so that tells you what size in 16ths it is. And usually it's, yeah, you can see it just barely on there. Number 8. That's how you order those. They usually have, when you order this fitting, it usually has the size of the JIC fitting and then the back side too. So you can get different sizes. So they usually have a size for each one. So you could have a 1/2 inch barb with a number 8, or you could have a 3/8 barb with a number 8. So you have to be careful when you order those, because there's 2 different sizes you have to specify when you order those. So. Alright, so we got the new coolant hoses in. I'll try to snake this one in here. So I don't even know how. Camera, it's hard to get you down in there, but I got that. So I got this hose snaked down in. Alright, so you got a better idea of where we're at. So we're in by the exhaust. That's the air compressor right there. And the coolant hose I have snaked down alongside the, just below the exhaust manifold. And then we'll go to the bottom. We'll hook it up on the bottom, and then we'll get it on the back of the air. All right, so we're going in from the underside here. That's oil pan. Sorry for being sideways, but this thing. And then there's a starter. You can see I put a rag up on top of the starter just to keep the wrench away from it. So you got to get up in here. See if I can get the camera up in there where it'll stay. Not be in my way. All right, we'll see if I can see. This is kind of a blind corner here to work around. Get this hose up. Get it on the back of there. There's a fitting just like this one on the back side of the air compressor here, which on these 8V92s is up under the kind of the bedroom floor, I guess. Alright, so we're on the back side. See, that thing is not quite lined up. I'm going to have to try to barely reach it from where I'm at right now. I think you can let go of it now. think that's tight. So we'll get the bottom side of it tightened up, and that'll be the tough one in, hope. Can you see that?
It's focusing on something to its left.
Is that better?
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to snug this guy up on the bottom side. It's above the starter. Alright. That should be tight. Alright, so we're down here on the engine block. I took this coolant hose off. So I'm going to remove this plug. I ended up draining the coolant system to make it a little easier. So we got our new hose here. Stick this guy in there. Get it started. Getting two hands in here is a real challenge. I gotta get it started off there and go the rest of the way with the wrench now. So it's important to make sure you got the mating face of any JIC fitting real clean. Any speck of dirt, when you tighten it down on it, it's gonna end up messing it up and it'll cause leaks. This is a cooling system. It's not really under high pressure, so it's not going to be as bad, but still you want the surfaces clean. The mating surface of the JIC fitting. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. Get some nice neighbor's dog barking. Remind you of a Bus Grease Monkey video. So this port is on the back of the head on the passenger side of the bus. So I'm not going to snug that all the way down because I may need to twist this hose. So I'll just leave it a little loose. Get you aimed up here. Get this other fitting. See if it'll focus there. So get this plug out of there. The head's got a little bit of coolant in it. So this is the mating face right here, this angled face. That's what needs to be really clean when you put these together. So get our hose in here. This is a short hose, so you kind of gotta twist it a little bit. It's a pain to get in here with two hands. Sorry, there's not much you can see, but it's the only spot I can put my hand in there to work. I'll try to get this turned up as much with my hand as possible. So I'm going to snug this up. The other thing here is a good idea, and I'll get one in a second, is those other ones I couldn't really reach another wrench in there, but it's always good to have another backer wrench on the actual hose, this hex on the hose side, so that way you're not twisting the hose when you're tightening it. So the big one, these are number 8 JIC fittings, and then usually this is at 7/8. This is, I think, 3/4. So let's see if I can get a 3/4 wrench here. And that's probably, yeah. So there, so you can hold the hose and turn the hose. Make sure it's not twisted. And then snug it down. There we go. And then we'll snug up this bottom one too. Camera doesn't want to stay where I put it. Well, there we go. Might be a better view. My legs are falling asleep too, but I keep trying to move. See, kind of turning that other wrench. So you don't want it to twist that hose. You want to make sure you're holding that hose side in a position where it wants to sit naturally. Tighten up the fitting side. Slipped off there. All right. It's nice and snug.